What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be talking about this here 2019 Audi SQ5 that I just picked up, and we're going to be talking about the Audi option that no one's talking about and you probably never heard of, as well as rating all the other options on whether or not they're useful or gimmicks. So before this plane flies over, let's jump into it. I bet you did not know that the B9 Prestige package cars can park themselves, because I had no idea till the salesman got in the car and goes, "Oh, this one has park assist." I went home that night and Googled what park assist was, and apparently this car will perpendicular or parallel park itself in various parking spaces. So naturally, I had to try it out. So we go ahead and we press the park assist button. It says operate the brakes yourself. It didn't find that parking space. There was a parking space right there. It didn't find it. Alright, as soon as I put the camera down, it found a parking space, so we're gonna try again. Let's see what the car thinks. Will it recognize that this is a parking space? Oh, please drive further forward to start a parking maneuver. Please select reverse and take your hands off the steering wheel. Okay, we're backing into the spot. It's gonna steer itself. It's steering itself. Let's see it straighten itself out. I'm being very gentle on the brakes because I don't trust this thing at all. And now it's going to tell me when to stop. Okay. I'm going to try and convince it this is a parallel parking space. Let's see if she'll bite. Oh, she bought it. Alright. We're going to back up. I'm back into the middle of a traffic lane. I hope no one's coming. She's steering. She's convinced that this is a parking spot, so let's see. Now she says stop and go forward. She's gonna square up to this car, and then it's gonna tell me to stop. Awesome. Look! I mean, we're pretty straight on that car. We're blocking a drive lane, but it worked. It's a little finicky on whether or not it thinks there are parking spaces there, but it worked. Now, whether or not that is useful or a gimmick, I thought remained to be seen until I pulled up to a really tight parking space that I probably could have managed to get myself into. I'm no, shabby parallel parker, but I was like, let me try this thing out. And the park assist recognized the parking space right away, which was cool. And it pulled in and parked pretty darn well. It centered itself right in the middle of the spot. It was right off the curb. Everything about it was good. And I mean, it was a pretty tight parking space. It handled itself. Only thing to note about park assist, it is not operating the gas or the brake. It's purely operating the steering. So it's your job to slowly ease back or ease forward in the space. And park assist is not going to stop you from hitting the car behind you or hitting the car in front of you. So you just got to go slow, gentle, and follow the prompts on the screen. But I'm going to go ahead. And even though I thought it was something of a gimmick, I'm going to give that a useful. Alright, jumping around to the back here, apologies for the bird poop. This one I had on my S6, and I thought it was kind of a gimmick until I walked up to SQ5 with a bunch of luggage loading up for our vacation this weekend, and all you have to do is kick your foot under there, and it'll open the trunk up. Now, on the S6, you can do that, but on the S6, I didn't have power closed trunk, so what you can do is when you're done putting your stuff in the trunk, you just give it a little kick, and you walk away. You can go get in the car without having to reach up and press the trunk button. Now, is it difficult to press the trunk button? No. But I would say this is more useful than a gimmick, especially if you come to the car with a handful of stuff. Now, my SQ5 comes with the red brake calipers. You can see them in there. And that means that this car has this sport package, which includes the red brakes, the sport differential, and most importantly, the air suspension. So how is air suspension useful and not a gimmick, you might ask? Well, a lot of you probably already know, but the beauty of air suspension is you can change the ride height very, very, very easily. On top of that, if you want to lower your car like I have already, we haven't covered that in a video yet, but I have the TGK Motorsport links on this car. Shout out to Tyler over at TGK. Those are $100, and I'm able to adjust the ride height down 2 inches. I think you probably could also adjust them up, although these weren't designed for that. When you go into the little drive select menu here, no, I don't pay for SiriusXM. That is definitely a gimmick, by the way. It just happened to come free with the car. You can go ahead into lift mode or all road mode or whatever, and so when you come across, you know, a bumpy road or whatever, your car actually can lift itself up And these actually go ridiculously high stock. Obviously, I've taken about 2 inches out of the ride height, but you can see it popping up there, and it'll pop up in the front as well. It's really nice to have the air suspension and be able to just, you know, have the car bump itself up. I think that's almost all the way up. Air suspension, definitely useful. Definitely sport package is an option you should opt for. Whether or not you need a sport differential in an SQ5, I'm going to say the answer is no, because by the time you get into sport differential territory, you're probably up on 2 wheels. And I think it's dumb that they didn't all just come with air suspension, and then you could opt the sport differential on top. But air suspension, sport package, definitely useful, definitely not a gimmick. All right, let's talk about the heads-up display. I don't know if the car will even focus on it. Oh, it focused for a second. See that little 0 mile an hour up there? That is the heads-up display. You can also put street signs up there, although I think that's really distracting. I don't know if I ever could see myself using the heads-up display. Thankfully, it's something that Audi lets you shut off because I think it's more distracting than useful. So I'm gonna go ahead and I would imagine that some of you like the heads-up display, but most of you are in my camp where I think the heads-up display is more of a gimmick than something that's actually useful. One of my favorite features that comes with a Prestige package is the front and corner cameras, which allow ultimately for this overhead view of the car. Now we are in the middle of a nothing over here, but this is really awesome for parking in parking spaces when you're not using park assist. This view is super useful. And then again, even if you're using the backup camera, it pops up over here with the overhead view too. I think this is awesome. I'm a really big fan of this feature, and I would say in no way is this a gimmick. This is definitely a useful feature. Now, one of the features that Audi introduced with the B9 chassis is street sign recognition. So down here in the bottom corner down there, normally when you drive past a street sign, the cameras pick it up, and as a result, it'll display the speed limit down there, or school zone, or those are really the only signs that I've picked up so far. I would say it errs more on the gimmicky side than the useful side as far as street sign goes, but there have been times when I've looked down and said, what's the speed limit, and the car has it saved right there. Obviously, if you're running Waze or something like that, it's kind of pointless because Waze gives you the speed limit too, but overall, I mean, I'm kind of a toss-up on that. What do you guys think about speed limit signs? Is it useful or gimmicky? What is definitely not a gimmick? This Bang & Olufsen sound system. This is my 4th modern Audi, S4, B8.5, SQ5, S6, and now this SQ5. All those cars except for the S6 had the Bang & Olufsen sound system, and I didn't realize how good it was until I got in the S6 that had the mid-tier Bose system. The Bang & Olufsen is definitely a step above. I would say if you can find a car with the Bang & Olufsen and the other options that you have, that is a huge perk. I wouldn't say it's a be-all, end-all, but if you are interested in audio at all, the base system is not going to cut it for you. Even the Bang & Olufsen has some headroom left, but it is a significant upgrade from the stock system. They're not going to show up during the day, but whoever spec'd this car spent $500 to get the Audi rings under the door. That is 100% a gimmick. He could have gotten them off of eBay for 20 bucks. I'm pretty sure you just slide the projector bulbs in, but I'm going to go full gimmick on those. There's really no benefit to them other than flexing on everyone else. And that's pretty much all I got for today. If you didn't know about the park assist, now you know. And of course, we went through all the other options on my SQ5, rating them. Let me know your thoughts if you disagree, agree. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. A lot more B9 SQ5 content coming in the near future. As always, thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you're new here. Go out there and spread some positivity, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.